Hey everyone, kids, this is Dr. Callahan with week 1 Friday. Yay, you guys made it to the end of the first week, so congratulations. Go ahead and pause the video and answer the following 3 questions on your warm-up log. Your warm-up log this year is going to be blue, and you can also access and pick up a copy from outside of my door of B1. It will be there until we come back in person, so it's not like tomorrow because after the first week, I'm going to take all the hard copies back. You have it there until I see you guys back in person on January 19th. So feel free to stop by anytime between 7:30 in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday through Friday outside of my classroom in B1. You just pick it up and just go. And if you don't want to pick it up, but you do have a printer at home, you're welcome to print this out. It's going to be on week 1 Monday's assignment, and I also attach the assignment as a PDF every single day on your regular assignment. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at creating your assignments today. So we're gonna go to MS Team, you guys are Algebra 1. And so we're gonna go to assignment, we're gonna go ahead and create it for week 1 Friday. And it's just gonna be week 1 Friday, Algebra 1, semester 2. Our topic of discussion is gonna be on a foldable for rules of exponents. And your instructions is as follows. So today is Friday. Make sure you guys are watching the video in its entirety because that is important. Your daily instruction is 40 minutes of instructions. If you have any questions, you're welcome to email me. You only get marked present if you click on the viewing of the assignment, and then your academic grade is determined by you uploading your work. So even though you view the assignment, if you fail to upload your work, then you have a 0, which is missing for a grade. So yes, you've been marked present, but you also want to be marked present in addition to passing the class with a 60% or better. The link that you guys need for this class is right here for the YouTube channel. After today, you will have 5 videos on there. And again, the hard copies are just outside my door. You can pick up anytime. And your period here is first period, so you should be logging on and viewing your assignments between 8:30 in the morning until 9:15. So that is your breakdown for the class itself. And actually, it's 45 minutes. Let me change that. There you go. Okay, so every day you get 10 points. Assignments are due by 3:30, and that's it. So let's go ahead and assign this for you guys. Okay, so looking at your guided notes for today, this is going to be a foldable. So here's your first page, second page, third page, fourth page, and fifth page, sixth page. There's 6 pages. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this on a separate document to your assignment. So that way, if you want to print this out, you don't have to print out everything, just the copies that you technically need. So let's go ahead and save this. I'm going to save it under Algebra 1. And I'm just going to put PDF, and also I'm going to put down guided notes so that you guys know that this is the guided notes. All right, let's go back to your MS Team to make sure that assignment is adequately saved. Oh, there it is right here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and attach it. And ta-da, you should have access to the guided notes as well. Perfect, you guys. Let's go ahead and continue with our lessons today. You should have already completed the following 3 questions. Yesterday when I saw you guys, I had you go ahead and work on a little bit of the rules of exponents. There were 2 algebra puzzles. We also did a tic-tac-toe and also filled out this part of your guided notes with radical form to exponential form. All right, so for today, this is a breakdown of what we're going to be talking about. We're going to go over a foldable first. And let's go ahead and get that started. Okay, so first what I want you guys to do is looking at the foldable. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different folds. Power of powers property, quotient of powers, power of a power property, power of a quotient property, and power of a power negative exponents. Then when you go ahead and fold it over, this is what you should have. Now, you do have the formulas that's given to you that we've been talking about all this week, and those formulas are right here in yellow. So then what I want you guys to do is you are going to take your iPad or your anything that you have internet with, and you're going to go ahead and be Googling these words to fill this part out. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over this together. All right, so for the first one, we're going to start off right here. Power of a power property. So make sure you guys copy this part down. When you are multiplying two numbers with the same base, you add the exponents. And you're supposed to Google an example of it. And so this is my example that I Googled and I copied down. So go ahead and Google it and then copy it down. Okay, let's go on to number 2. Number 2 is on quotient of a power. Okay, so this is a formula of what it looks like. And remember, if it's a quotient of a power, you can always move the exponent up, but it'll just be a opposite sign, which is a negative. So the way that you fill this out is when you are dividing two numbers with the same base, because they both have a, you minus the exponent. And the example that I use is this one here, 3 to the 5th over 3 squared. They both have a base of 3. So if I move the 2, which I always move the smaller number up, what's 5 minus 2? It's going to give me a 3, which is the same thing as 3 times 3 times 3, which is just 27. All right, let's go on to number 3. Number 3 is on power of a power property. So this one is when you have an exponent on the outside of a parenthesis, a base, you should distribute the exponent to the bases. So you're going to be taking this 3, multiply it into the 4 and the 3. So you have 4 to the 3rd power and 3 to the 3rd power. 4 to the 3rd power means it's 4 times 4 times 4 3 times, which is 64. 3 to the 3rd power is 3 times 3 times 3 times, which is 27. And then you will have to multiply these two together because look, there's a multiplication sign between the 4 and the 3, which gives you 1,728. Number 4 is going to be on power of a quotient property. With this one, you're going to take that exponent in, distribute to the top and also to the bottom. So let's fill in the blank. When you have an exponent on the outside of the parenthesis of a base, you distribute the exponent to the bases. So my example here is 4 over 2 to the 3rd power. Distribute 3 to the 4, you get 4 to the 3rd power. Distribute 3 to the 2, you get 2 to the 3rd power. Well, 4 times 4 times 4 is 64, and 2 times 2 times 2 is just 8. And I can divide 8 into 64, which gives me an answer of just 8. Number 5, which is your last one, it's going to be on power of a power and also negative exponents. So go ahead and copy the fill in the blank down. So with power of a power, if you just have one base, notice that you just have one base, which is a 2. The 3 and the 2, you need to multiply them together, which gives you a 6, which means you have 2 6s, or I'm sorry, 6 2s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if you multiply those 2's together, you get a 64. Now with a negative exponent, in order to change from a negative exponent to a positive, you just bring it down or up the fraction bar. So you see the negative m to make it a positive m, you just bring it down and you put a 1 on top, so it's 1 over a to the positive m. Just like if you have 5 to the negative second power, you bring it down to the denominator and you get 1 over 5 squared, which is 5 times 5, and that gives you 1 over 25. Now, similarly, if I have, let's say, a negative exponent in the denominator, I just bring it up to the numerator, which then makes it a positive 3. So 4 times 4 times 4, 3 times, is going to give me a 64. So you can slide that negative exponent down to the denominator or to the numerator to make it positive. And lastly, 0 exponent, anything to the 0 power is always, as you guys know, going to be 1. Anything to the 1 power is just going to be itself. Okay, so if you have like a happy face to the 0 power, answer is 1. Happy face to the 1 power, it's just a happy face. Happy face to the 3rd power, that means you have 3 happy faces. All right, you guys, next we're going to move on to this page that you have, which it says guided notes, and we're going to go over a few of these questions. We did talk about radical exponential form yesterday, but now we're going to be applying radical exponential form with the power of exponents. So let's take a look at question number 1. Okay, so with question number 1, you have 2 bases, so you're going to be adding the exponents together. That's going to give you a 2 to the 4 fifth. If you write this into a radical form, remember, power is the 4, root is the 5, and if you're to write this into a radical form, your power stays on the inside, root stays on the outside. So your power is a 4, root is a 5, and that is your answer. With number 2, you're going to distribute this 4 over, so you have 7 to the 4 over 6. And again, power is 4, root is 6, so I will write it as 7 with a power of 4, root 6. For number 3, notice they both have the same base. 1 is smaller than 5, so I'm going to bring it up. So I have a minus 1 over 8. So you have 3 to the 4 over 8. If I reduce that, it's a 1 over 2. And again, if I were to write this in a radical form, remember your power is 1, your root is 2. So then the power is 1, root is 2. Or just square root of 3. That is your answer. For number 4, you have a 1/2. We're going to go ahead and distribute that 1/2 to the 36, the 4, and the 10. So you have 36 to the 1 over 2. 4 times 1 over 2 is a 4 over 2. 10 times 1 over 2 is an n to the 10 over 2, like that. I want to go ahead and rewrite this. And remember, this is the power, this is the root. So you have a square root of 36. 4 divided by 2 is a 2. 10 divided by 2 is a 5. The square root of 36 is 6. Squared, n to the 5th power. And that is your answer. Let's take a look at number 5. For number 5, you're going to move the 4/3 up. So you have a negative 4 over 3. So you have 5, 2 over 1 minus 4 over 3. You do need to have a common denominator. So if I move that 1 to a 3, the 2 becomes a 6. 6 minus 4 is a 2/3. Remember, this is the power and the 3 is a root. So I have the root, which is a 3, 5 squared. So another way of writing that is just 5 times 5, which is 25. All right, last one is number 6. With this one, be careful because you have parentheses around the top and bottom. So what that means is I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 1/3 to everything in the top. And that's going to give me a 27 to the 1/3, x to the 8/3, y to the 12/3. And then I also have to distribute this to the denominator. So that's going to give me a x to the 2/3, y to the 9/3. I am able to rewrite the top with a cube root of 27. And a cube root of 27, I could break down the 27 to 3 times 3 times 3, 3 times, which is also equal to 27. But I also have 3 of a kind. So what does that give me? That just gives me a 3. I could take out the 3 out with just a 3. And then if I take a look at the x's, I move the 2/3 up. So what is 8 minus 2? That's going to give me an x to the 6/3, which is just x squared. And then I do the same thing with a y, bring up the 9/3, which is a minus, and then 12 minus 9 is a 3. So then I have y to the 3/3, which is just y to the 1 power. And that is your answer. All right, let's go on to number 7 to 12. Let's take a look at number 8. For number 7, I'm going to have you guys try that on your own. I'm going to have you try number 9 on your own. And try number 11 on your own. So pause the video and give those 3 a try. All right, I'm going to go over number 8 with you guys. So for number 8, you want to look at the 42/6. If I were to divide it, it's going to give me a 7. So I have a 7 on top. Then I look at the x's. Notice how the 4 is smaller, so you're going to bring the 4 down. So then you bring the 4 down, it is going to be a 6 minus 4. And then if I look at the y's, well, there's only one y and it's a negative. I'm going to bring it up, so then that y becomes a positive 3. And then if I look at the z's, that 5 is smaller, so I'm going to bring it up, so it's going to be 7 minus 5. If I reduce this, 6 minus 4 is x squared. Y to the 3rd, 7 minus 5 is z squared. And that is my answer. For number 10, you want to write this from radical form to exponential form. So remember, there's a power of 1, root of 2. So my first one is 2 to the 1/2 power times 2 to the 1/3 power. Given the fact that there are 2 bases, you got to add the fraction. So then what is 1/2 plus 1/3? You have to change it to a common denominator. So the top becomes a 3, the first fraction. 2 is the second part of the fraction. So then you have 2, 3 plus 2 is 5/6. Or if you put it back into a radical form, remember this is a power. Let's try this one more time. There we go. Okay. So then this is the power. 5 is the power. 6 is the root. So we have 5, 6. And this is your answer. All right, you guys, after this, if you need more practice, I would suggest that you go on to the very end of this. And I have a few more questions here that you guys can go ahead and practice with. I do have 2 calculus puzzles that you can try as well. And your exit ticket is, which one are you? Explain in 10 words or less. Are you a novice, apprentice, practitioner, or expert? which one describes you. As always, stay safe and healthy. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.